Kia ora team, I'm Benny. Welcome to another episode of Grow with Benny's, where today we'll be talking about liquid feeding, which is arguably one of the most vital components of the Osmosis system that we use here at Benny's. We'll be looking at the way that water cycles through a plant and how this enables the plant to access nutrients. We'll be looking at different types of nutrients, and we'll be talking about something called NPK. Now, we're going to be making some organic liquid fertilizer today using the Benny's 6100 organic liquid fertilizer maker. And stay tuned after the show for another episode of Regrowth with Adam Mensch, when he'll be introducing a new segment called How Are You Growing? Now, we've got Andre the Bear with us this week. And of course, I'm Benny Ward. Subscribe if you're on board. I think we're just about ready to get after it and talk liquid feeding on this, the penultimate episode of Grow with Benny's.
Save your pennies, grow with Benny's.
Now, we all know that water is absorbed into a plant through its roots. But how? How does it get sucked up into the plant? Well, it's absorbed into the roots via a process called osmosis. Now, absorption via osmosis is very different to learning via osmosis, which is pretty much the key to a successful marriage. But imagine the stem of this plant is a little bit like a straw that you suck on. You see, 90% of the water that's taken up through the roots is expelled out through the leaves. Imagine the leaves are like the tip of the straw. Now, if the stem of the straw is full of water, then as you gently suck on the tip, you're pulling more water from the bottom up through the straw. It's the same sort of thing that happens with the stem of a plant. Now, this is a good way of a plant to absorb nutrients because the nutrients can be dissolved in the water that's then taken up through the plant. And when we talk nutrients, we often talk about something called NPK. And if you're not familiar with that, as with anything, if there's something you don't know or something you forgot, it's okay to stop and say, wait, what?
It's time for wait. What? It's time for wait. What?
Now, when we talk about liquid feeding and we talk about nutrients that a plant needs, we talk about NPK, or the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that is present in which proportions in a liquid fertilizer. Now, nitrogen helps a plant to produce stems and leaves. Phosphorus helps a plant flowering and to help ripening of, say, fruit. And potassium helps a plant to produce sugars and starches. Well, there you go. Now, one organic liquid fertilizer that has a perfect NPK can be made using this week's plant of the week, which is comfrey. This gives us a good opportunity to use the Benny's 6100 liquid organic fertilizer maker. We're still working on the name. But let's have a look how it works. Now, comfrey is great for making liquid fertilizer because it has a very deep tap root. And this can access nutrients from deep within the soil, bring them up through the plant, concentrate them into the leaves, and then we can use that for multiple purposes. You can make teas, you can use it as a mulch. So let's see how to make a organic liquid fertilizer using comfrey.
Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding do 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 do. Liquid feeding.
Awesome. Well, that about does it for this episode of Grow with Benny's. Stay tuned, because coming up right now is another episode of Regrowth with Adam Mensch. Now, this week, he'll be debuting a brand new segment called How Are You Growing? And it gives viewers the opportunity to share their stories with us. So a big thank you to Andre the Bear for his help this week. Now, next week is the final episode in this season. And it's my sad news to report that it's also the final episode of Regrowth with Adam Mensch. But he'll tell you all about that. But for now, I'm Benny Ward. Subscribe if you're on board. Now, the best way to continue to grow is to like and leave a comment down below. We'll see you next time on Grow with Benny's.